Hey, now this video will show you how to make and receive unlimited talk time telephone calls to any telephone number in Canada or the United States completely free of charge using nothing but a web browser on your internet connected computer and a microphone. This service also provides you with your own local area code telephone number completely free of charge, so you can receive telephone calls on it, which is nice. The service is called Text Now. Text Now was originally a mobile app, so an application available free of charge on Android smartphones and tablets, as well as on iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Since their inception, they have created a web portal, a website that can be accessed using computers, so PC, Mac, Linux, what have you. The original sales pitch behind Text Now was that it was an app that allowed you to send and receive unlimited SMS text messages and unlimited MMS photo messages to any mobile phone number in US and Canada. They also provide the unlimited phone calling to telephone numbers in the US and Canada, which is nice. And of course, your own voicemail, your own caller ID, and things of that nature, all completely free of charge, which is nice. In order to set up your TextNow account, I believe you could do it on textnow.com. I don't recommend it, however. If you have access to a mobile smartphone, even if it's temporary, even if you're just borrowing somebody's mobile smartphone to do it, I recommend that you download the app, the TextNow app, on your mobile smartphone, and you set up the account there. I don't know if this is still the case, but in the past, if you used the website to create an account, the phone number that they would grant you was never, at least in my case, never very local. It wasn't an ideal phone number. Whereas if I used a mobile app to create the account, they would give me a very local telephone number, which can be an asset if those who are calling you don't have unlimited long distance plans or what have you. So that is something to consider. This is what the TextNow interface looks like, again, using your web browser. As you can tell, you have the list of SMS text messages and MMS photo messages here. However, as mentioned prior, you can also place calls. The way to place calls is, for example, in the interface to the upper left next to your own telephone number and your own identifier, you click on the phone icon, which opens up this number pad. In this number pad, you can dial any 10-digit number in Canada and the US, and it should connect you without issue. If you wish to make phone calls to countries outside Canada and the United States, you can use this pull-down menu, and there's a bunch of different options that will give you the going rates. Of course, you also have access to textnow.com/international-calling, which actually has a search engine, so you could look up specific countries and their going rates. That's if you want to put money into your account and use money to make phone calls outside of Canada and the United States. But as mentioned here, free unlimited domestic calling, no need to purchase or earn credit to make local calls. Calls to Canada, to USA and Canada are always unlimited, which is nice. So again, this is how you bring up the number pad. Once your call is established, you can bring up a keypad during the call. If you, let's say you need to deal with an automated system, you could also mute the call, which is nice. As mentioned prior, you have access to voicemail, so incoming calls can leave voicemails, which you can play, which is nice. As long as the website's opened, you can receive incoming phone calls, so it's as if your phone is enabled when the website is opened and logged in. If a phone call comes in, you have the caller ID. You could decline or accept. You can also opt for web browser notifications. So that being said, let's say you're not in your web browser at the time, but you have the TextNow website open in the background. Should a phone call come in, your notification should come up in the lower right, which is nice. As mentioned prior, it's recommended to set up your account using the mobile app, because not only can you perhaps get a more local telephone number using the mobile app, but you could also set up your voicemail. So you could record your own greeting. You can set the number of rings before phone calls go to voicemail, things of that nature. These things you can't do using the web interface. Using the web interface, the only thing you could set is either if phone calls go straight to voicemail, or if they're if instead they ring on your computer. So that's something to consider. Here's why I'm showing you my my email. I was hesitant to recommend TextNow because TextNow is a great service considering everything they give you for free. The problem is that in the past, now mind you, I've never given a dime to TextNow. I've never, or Enflick, the parent company, but still. I signed up originally in November 2015. In August 2016, what happened was my account just disappeared. There was no trace, no instance of my account. I could no longer log in. I contacted them. They claimed that they have no evidence, there's no existence of my account, and essentially I lost all my contacts. I lost the phone number that I had at the time, which I loved, and it was just a real bummer considering that they took no responsibility. So that was really unfortunate. I had to make another account. I got a different phone number. Since August 2016 to this date in 2022, I have not lost my account again. I haven't lost my phone number. I keep that, which is nice. But since it happened in the past and Enflick/TextNow denied all responsibility, I was always hesitant to recommend this website, because again, if I could lose my phone number so easily, who's to say it can't happen to other people? Also, I showed this email, you will lose your phone number soon. Reason for this is because they're supposed to send you reminders. I don't know if they still do. Again, you're looking at an email from 2016. I don't know if this is still the case. But for your information, in order to keep your TextNow number, the one they grant you completely free of charge, you have to use the service at least once a month, whether it be to make a phone call or to send a text message, whether it be SMS or MMS. That is to say, you can't just rely on somebody calling you or somebody sending you an SMS/MMS for you to keep your account. You have to physically make a phone call or send an SMS. This can be to an 800 number. It doesn't have to be a toll-free number, essentially. It doesn't have to be to an actual person. You don't have to have a conversation. If you have your own phone, your own mobile phone, or your own home phone, you could call your own home phone. It doesn't matter. You just have to do so once every month, else you'll lose the number that's assigned to you. So there you go. Given that Google no longer offers Hangouts calling, this was the service I used to recommend. Unfortunately, they cut service to all countries except for the United States. The United States have access to Google Voice. I'm in Canada. I don't have access to that. So ever since the termination of the Hangouts call phone feature, or the Gmail call phone feature, where you could call any phone number in Canada and the US completely free of charge, I now have no choice but to recommend TextNow. I have used it to make long phone calls, to make important phone calls, and for the most part, again, highly recommended that you use minimally earphones or headphones when making or receiving these calls. Else, if you use the speakers on your computer, the speakers on your computer will broadcast into your microphone, and since there's half a second delay, it'll create a terrible feedback loop. That's why I highly recommend that you have ideally a headset, minimally headphones slash earphones, whichever you prefer. Provided you have that, the call quality, thank you, is quite good, and again, you can have the website open, and you could receive phone calls, and you can make phone calls. Of course, a downside is if you only have a computer, if you want to receive phone calls at any moment of the day, you have to keep your computer on the website open and connected to the internet the entire time. That's kind of a bummer. Or if you're not opposed to having calls go to voicemail when you're not in front of the computer, you could just close everything down and calls will go to voicemail, and when you re-log into the website, you'll have access to incoming phone calls again. So there you go. Overall, a highly interesting website, completely free of charge. I haven't given them a penny in the past 7 years that I've been using them. But again, in 2016, I had the unfortunate incident where I completely lost my account, and they refused to look into the issue. So that's why I was hesitant. But suffice to say, for us Canadians at least, it's the best option I know of to have a free telephone service using nothing but an internet-connected an internet-connected computer with microphone. So there you go. I'll leave you with that. I hope this information helps, and as usual, all the best.